Hi guys, it's Doc's Market Minute for Wednesday, February 17th. We're continuing to get a really nice bounce off of last Thursday's lows, and energy has really been sort of the driver for this today based on some oil industry talks in Iran and Saudi Arabia. So naturally everybody's excited. The XLE, which is the sector spider for energy, is up about 3.5% just today alone. And so rather than get excited about this, let's kind of do a deep dive on here and understand what's going to be necessary for energy, which as of the summer of 2014, the XLE was up here at about 100 and now is down at 57. So it's lost 43%. You could say very easily that this is in a serious bear market and showing lower highs and lower lows on the monthly chart. What's it going to take to reverse this? Well, it's going to be a little bit more work than we really want it to be. First of all, just looking at this again, lower highs, lower lows on the monthly chart. Looks like we're putting in a nice tweezer bottom here on the low, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything just yet. It takes a lot of work to get a reversal from something like this. So what has to happen? Well, usually we talk about reversals starting from the inside out, or the 78-minute chart. So we've definitely had a reversal here with a higher high and a higher low setting up in the 78-minute chart, and so therefore we go up to the 5 times slower or 5 times bigger chart, which is the daily chart from here, which is generally all anybody looks at right now. So what I like about this is after a series of lower highs and lower lows, we have another lower high, higher low. So a lot of times this can be the beginning of a very rapid reversal when you put in that higher low pivot and then you get too many shorts piling on at the last minute down here, and then they get squeezed out to the upside. So a lot of times a higher low like this can drive a very quick rally from here. But again, what we're talking about is the bigger picture here and not just the daily chart. So what has to happen from here? Well, for this to reverse, we need to see the price take out the higher high here. So we need to see it continue to go higher from here and get a true change in polarity back up to the upside on the daily chart. Now, as we go over to the next 5X chart, which is the weekly chart in this case, if we do have a daily uptrend in place with a new higher high, if that happens, then what we're going to see is this will translate into a weekly swing to the upside. Okay, see how this sort of multiplies and sort of propagates from one time frame to another. And then once we get this weekly swing, probably we'll have a little bit of trouble getting past probably the $65 point here, which is overhead resistance for now. That's okay, because what has to happen is the weekly chart has to put in some form of higher low as well too, and a subsequent higher high. Then it too will have a change in polarity to the upside. And all of this is simply going to, once we have that, then we'll have a monthly swing to the upside. And you can see that this is just, well, we have to move this over now. This is just going to print a lower high on the monthly chart. So all of that work, all of that reversal, you can see how long this takes to turn around this aircraft carrier steaming at flank speed to the downside in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's going to take miles and miles of real estate before this thing will finally pound out a bottom and start heading higher again. Even if it does head higher again, more than likely that's just going to mark the next lower high, and then it's going to roll over again. We need to do the same thing on the monthly chart. The monthly chart has to print a higher low and a higher high to start showing the reversal in the beginning of a recovery in the energy sector. So we are months and months and months away from that. Everybody's excited right now because we have a nice green candle, which is good for 3.5% and maybe the beginning of something. But you can see how all the puzzle pieces fit together. And if you do understand this, if you understand how these puzzle pieces fit together, you can come up with a much more accurate forecast and understand actually what's going on with the price versus just watching the daily chart and being befuddled by moves such as this where it reverses here and moves such as today where we keep on going higher. Don't have to do that. Understand what the price action is telling you, understand how the puzzle pieces fit together. You'll have a much better forecast, and because of that, you'll be a much more accurate option trader. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.